Hey guys, guess what? We're getting a tournament arc!
Yeah, looks like. So I guess wearing this shirt on this video is fitting.
And they're doing it because they want to get stronger.
Hey!
It works. That's kind of random and funny.
This was a very subtle segue into a tournament arc. Like,
no. It was not subtle at all. Like, come on. You were basically like right in between this part, just like, so you know how we got gypped in the previous tournament arc? Let's just go to another one. Why? Because we gotta fight and earn some money.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Like, how is that actually going to be training, though? Because
because in anime, as you know, beating the crap out of each other and, like, getting the crap beat out of you is equivalent to training. You know?
Yeah.
Even though that's really not how it happens. And I'm a little bit like...
But here's what they could do, is that they don't have it to be have to be a thing where they necessarily just participate.
Sure.
They can have it be a thing where they actually work there and participate a little bit.
And they end up like studying what the other people
study what the other people do. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. That would be a very good idea.
And then Killua could teach Gon
right.
the moves, and Gon goes and uses them in the fights.
Yes. And what I would love to see. So, since we just had the Zoldyck family estate and all that stuff and how psycho they are, that would be interesting to see if, like, because that was all the negative from the family, right?
Right.
But it would be cool to see if Killua basically said, hey, if you are willing to sign up to this program, I will basically take you through Zoldyck assassin family training, 101.
Right.
Get you up there a bit.
Maybe not literally that, but he could teach him techniques just as much as he taught Canary.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is funny, because he didn't teach Canary. He just showed Canary, and Canary picked it up.
It's like Konosuba, where you just have to like do the skill once in front of them, and then they can go into their character sheet and just unlock.
Yeah. But if they do that for this, that could be cool, because then we could finally learn the system for how they do any type of like power.
Sure, yes, because this is going to be all with people that we have not seen thus far.
Yeah.
And now, here's the interesting thing, though. So since the Hunter exam is supposed to be, like, super dupes hard, right?
Right.
So would that mean, then, that... Because in order to keep things interesting, you would think that they would make the people at this tournament do at least things that we haven't seen in the Hunter exam.
No, they're just fighting each other.
Well, yeah, they're just fighting each other, but, like, the ways they fight each other and stuff like that, right? Like they gotta keep it fresh. So, do you think there will be Hunters in this... tournament?
Of course.
Well, okay, yeah, good point, because Gon's a hunter, so...
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Testing out their skills on people and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. My question is this going to be a death battle? Like, is this going to be a thing where people get killed?
Sure. Yeah.
Or is this going to be more of a thing like you're talking about, where it will have tests like the Hunter's exam?
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking tests. I was just thinking, like, if it's just straight-up battles, like... introduce the power system as a way to make sure that each battle is interesting. Otherwise, if they'll be hard to press to keep each one fresh, especially since we don't have any insane drive of why this tournament needs to happen. Right?
Right, that's true.
So
back to the episode. The butlers played a very deadly game.
They did.
And that was interesting, because they took something that, like rock, paper, scissors, they used in the past, and it was like, oh, now it's deadly rock, paper, scissors. This is deadly coin toss.
But props to them for not actually having it be on the coin toss, and then they, have the coin, like, land straight up, as the, oh, wow, we've never seen that before. So instead they just have it be the, which hand is it in?
Yes. With having the butler basically be someone who... I would say kind of plays favorites with the mom. Like...
Sure.
I know they're probably never going to get into this, but is that kind of one of those, like, classic hints at an affair, basically?
I was wondering about that, too.
The father being kind of distant and potentially, like, kind of not very much listening to the wife at all.
And the butler's one of the ones that helps take care of the kids with the mom, so...
It's like, the kid might as well be my own. I think that's reading into it a bit much.
Yeah, leave that to the shippers, maybe.
Well, not only that, just like...
For the
No one cares about shipping that. The point is I'm saying that there's a story beat that they could bring back later. I'm saying
sure, yes, okay, yeah.
we're not talking about shippers. We're talking about like actual like things that could work in the story. Like say we find out, oh, by the way, the mom killed the dad and remarried the butler and changed the whole Zoldyck family around. I mean, this is just a crazy theory.
That would be insane if that happened.
That's kind of things that we can look at as, okay, what did we leave the Zoldyck family little segment of episodes with? Like, what did we carry out from that? Not much. Like, there was no gain, really.
Right. We got some cool characters introduced.
Yeah, but they're probably not going to be brought back again for a very, very, very long time.
Right, because they literally just are like, okay, now we're going on to a different arc that Leorio and Kurapika are not going to be a part of.
Which I am very interested in seeing how they handle that, because they could do multiple location storytelling where instead of just waiting until they go to York New City and have that bit there, they actually every once in a while switch perspectives over to Kurapika, for instance.
To them,
or Leorio. But if they never do that, that'd be interesting too.
Right, because one of the things that I was actually wondering and kind of hoping is that we would get more development from Kurapika and Leorio, because since they were introduced at the very beginning of the story before Killua, I mean, yes, they could just end up being sidekicks, but I really want to see more of them and from them.
Yeah, I particularly just want to see Kurapika because he's got his whole actual kind of goal. Whereas Leorio's is a goal that doesn't provide any more conflict to the story. Right. It's a goal.
Yes. And it's a good goal.
It's a good goal, but it doesn't provide any more story, really. Once he does his goal, he does his goal. Right.
And so
it's
maybe,
okay, good, you're a doctor.
So maybe we need to double down on the kind of interpersonal conflicts that there might be, and not necessarily like conflicts, but just the relations between them and Gon and Killua and all them.
But they're not going to, because they're going to separate places.
Exactly. But I'm saying, like, when they get back together, that's something that I would very much like to see, even if it comes a bit later.
I think they're setting the preface for that not being a thing anymore. Them basically doing this way. No, I think that's fine, because we have no real, true, concrete understanding on a lot of things regarding Gon, in particular.
That's true.
We don't have a lot of concrete understanding on a lot of things regarding Killua's desires. We know a little bit of his past, but we don't know anything about what he actually wants out of life.
Sure, so that could be a way that this could be basically the story where they focus on Killua a lot more, because he just came from his family house.
Gon.
Well, right, Gon too, but
I just want to say Gon actually could use a moment like they did with the Zoldyck family, focused around him, and make it be a thing about, oh, your dad, you want to go find him.
Right.
Why don't we get into that and have you maybe find a little bit of a trail, and that instigates all this extra bit of story. But I think by them doing this tournament arc thing, they're basically saying, no, we're going to focus a little bit on the world building and a little bit of the relationship between Gon and Killua, which I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be necessarily much depth, but I would like to see them bring in other things, because I feel like we're about to jump into what might be a filler arc.
Sure.
I'm a little bit worried about that. I like shonen combat training stuff and using it with kind of a world building mix of tournament, whatever. It sounds fun, but it also could be just a filler arc.
The way this episode was set up, though, I get the feeling that it could end up being one of those things where it's actually like, okay, this thing would otherwise be filler, but we're actually using it as a setup to segue into the more of the main storyline.
But then it was nothing. Like then it in of itself was a segue. I'm saying that's filler, basically.
Well, okay. Padding and not necessarily necessary, sure. But the one of the most hated aspects of filler when it happens is that it's never referenced again. It doesn't have any impact.
It's not relevant.
If they set things up in this arc that then sort of foundations for stuff that happens later, then even if it's not one of the most engaging or super vital arcs, it will at least have played a part. If that makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the main thing that ties it to the main plot is that it's going to be the reason for why Gon is getting stronger.
Okay.
Or why he gets stronger. Change the tense there a little bit. But with Killua, they actually, like, I would like them to actually go a little bit in depth via him to Gon about things like the power system. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Why do people have these abilities and stuff?
Right.
Like, can we get into that? Not yet. Okay.
Right.
But
yeah.
If we're gonna do this tournament arc, I want to see an actual, like, good story that's self-contained, even if it's just kind of filler, that isn't just a segue to the main plot. I don't want it to be just a segue.
Well, and they don't have to have this tournament be super long either.
Yeah, but I get the feeling that
it might be, but
it might be at least 6 episodes. Like,
okay. Well, like, I'm very interested to see how they handle it. I am a little bit skeptical too.
Yeah.
But you know, they've done well so far. So
yeah, they've done pretty well. I think the thing that we can look forward to primarily is that Gon and Killua's kind of friendship thing will end up getting stronger, and that's going to take us through all the rough patches of actual story.
Sure. Yeah.
And I like that. I'm a fan of actually Kurapika and Leorio leaving. I think that's important because I was starting to feel like, wait, why are they here? Again?
Yeah.
And then they got them out of there. I'm like, yes, good, okay, awesome. They're gonna go get their goals, and when they come back, they could be completely different people. They could have changed, and that's awesome. That shows growth. And then when they see Gon and Killua, they'll be completely different people in some aspect, and then they'll go, oh, look, you guys have grown so much. That's crazy.
Yeah, that will make for a very cool reunion.
Because here's the other thing, Jacob. They mentioned a time frame.
They did.
So 6 months. If they do this Heaven's Arena thing for 6 months, I need a time skip somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have the Heaven's Arena thing be the whole deal. Because the whole point is that they're doing this to train and stuff.
I'm thinking just in terms of episodes. You can't... 24 episodes, 6 months.
Yes.
I want a time skip somewhere in there.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love to see it be a thing where, like, each episode is... like a week or so, with like a week also in between it or something. Like, we have this thing where it's not just montages and stuff.
Okay.
But you get the...
so then a core for this...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that there would be a showing of progression on some kind of scale, but then not just having it be a power level thing, but having it be like a set of techniques that Gon has to learn.
Right. Yes, that's
Killua is trying to perfect his, while Gon is just trying to grasp onto some of them.
Because one of the things, the
Netero fight, you know.
Well, sure. I was actually going to say the fishing. Like when he was training to fish for Hisoka's tag. I know it was just a bunch of repetition and stuff, but that's actually like when you think about like training for something, for like a specific thing, it usually just involves doing the same thing thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah, but that's not entertaining to watch.
Right, it's not entertaining. It is not entertaining to watch. But the reason that gets me excited is because if they make it so that Gon is not getting stronger on some, power level scale, but instead he's learning specific things that he can do in a fight, then we can see him use those things in a fight in ways that like make tactical sense and stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Rather than just like, I'm stronger now, so I can smash you really
don't
hard.
worry. I'm not talking about he's gonna go find some gravity chamber, set it to times 1,000 and just start flexing. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual techniques that Killua will teach him, someone at the arena will teach him, and we will see those techniques then used in fights moving forward.
And that's what I'm excited for.
Yes, that would be awesome. And please show us this power system thing that, like, people keep telling us that we need to see.
Yes, it's like, we're pretty far into the show.
Well, like I said...
Okay, percentage-wise, not really.
Percentage-wise, not really.
But like...
But most shows would have shown it by now.
Most shows would be over right now. Like,
no, most shows of this type.
Yeah, I know.
Would have told us by now.
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah, I think I'll be fine with the tournament arc. I think I'll
they'll be able to handle it just fine.
It would be cool to have the rug pulled out from under us like they did with the tournament arc that wasn't a tournament arc.
Right. Well, and they make a habit of doing that.
And maybe having it done in a way that's not making it shorter, but making it where there is no tournament. It's more about the capacity to impress people. Like, what if you had to go and you showed your techniques off to people, and it was for the purpose of bettering others, and it was like, I get to fight someone. It's like, well, no. What you actually are doing is you are put into this arena, and you do your techniques, and you train them in front of people, and then people put up 10 out of 10, 9.8,
Sure.
9.1.
One of the ways they could also do it if they didn't want to do an actual tournament arc. Now, this might scare you even more, but they could make it episodic, where instead it's a ring, right, where they'll have matches going on all the time. But hear me out. And then what they do with that is they use that as a way to basically introduce new characters, introduce new aspects of the system.
But then we'll know they're almost all throwaways, right?
But this is Hunter, so they could come up with creative ways of doing it. But the idea is that because we, with a tournament, you have the brackets and all that, and you have things to look forward to, which is good. But if they made it maybe so that it was just like sort of the weekly fights at this arena or something,
sure,
then they would be able to constantly be sort of pulling out the rug from under us without completely like taking the whole plot somewhere else. I don't know. That's something they could do. They probably won't, but...
All right, guys. Well, it's a good discussion. If you want to see the next 2 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. Get on early access. It also gives you access to our Discord, which we'd love to chat with you about anime and stories and stuff there.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all later. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.